Hello, my dear loves. So this is going to be a sorry about Elmo in the background. My daughter's watching Elmo while we're doing this video. It's probably really loud, but hope it's not so loud that you can't hear me. But um, so um, yeah. This video is just going to be focused on my tarot cards and what tarot cards I have and what cards I work with and what cards I just have here and work with when I'm drawn to them. Um, I started using tarot cards probably like 4 or 5 years ago, like really using it for readings, like paid readings and things like that. Um, I started I got introduced to tarot cards when I was like 13, 14, and I actually have my first deck that I received when I was 14. It was given to me as a gift from one of my mom's boyfriends at the time. She's not with him anymore, but he was into this kind of spiritual stuff, and he thought I would love this tarot thing, and I was obsessed, and I loved it, and it was kind of my gateway a little bit, and I would use it with my cousins, with my friends for fun. So it was, yeah, it was kind of a little bit my gateway into the process. But as time progressed, I got into mediumship more, and then I got into cards after mediumship. I started off with oracle cards, and then got into tarot cards probably like 2 or 3 years ago. But what's interesting is I didn't like tarot cards at first because I felt like they were too harsh and just so straightforward and intense at times that I kind of stayed away from them. And I liked oracle cards because they were refreshing and positive, and just they had their way of saying the truth to you. But I have fallen in love with tarot cards, and I love them. It's such a cool art form, but like it's such a beautiful way to channel psychic energy in a it's awesome. I love tarot cards, and I love mediumship. I love tea leaf reading. I love the whole divination oracle tools used. Even though I don't really need these things, I could just give a reading by myself without any tools. But tarot's like my favorite. I think it's really fascinating and cool. So, anyways, and I also do spirit art portraits. So this is my first tarot deck that I got when I was 13. I don't know the name of the deck. I think it's called Gold something. It's one of those cheap ones, or the ones that are like beginner's decks that you could get at like Barnes and Nobles. And they bring like an extra deck inside where you can color your own deck of cards. So I'm gonna just show you. So I remember using these cards. They're quite big. They're huge, but they were a great beginner's deck, you know. And I remember reading my little guidebook. It was so funny. I was like 13, 14. I would use them and they would come up with accurate stuff. At the time, I didn't know how to use my psychic ability. I had it always and my mediumship abilities, but I didn't know how to hone in on it and really use it with people or um, you know, clients in general. What am I talking about? I didn't even give readings to clients when I was 13. It all started when I was like 19, 20. Alright, so this is the deck I don't use this anymore. I don't really like big cards. I like when tarot cards are smaller, but it's just a memory, you know. Alright, so I'm gonna show you my tarot deck that I usually work with the most. It's what I started practicing on a lot like 3 years ago, and it's obviously the most original tarot deck, which is the Universal White tarot deck. It's Rider's White, I think that's how it is. But this is the big one. These are the big cards, but these are the cards that I use with most of my readings. This is what I've learned off of. I exchanged energy on it, and they've become kind of my friends. I like them, but I feel like they're kind of telling me you can progress to different kinds now. You can go on. Use me, but then you can progress. Try different ones. Try other tarot cards. I feel like this was a good beginner deck for me, and I'm trying to branch out now to find like a cooler, like a more evolved deck now for me, which I have one here, but I'm waiting for another one in the mail that I forgot. It's called Golden Botticelli Tarot deck, but it's really pretty, and I'm waiting for it. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I got it from Book Dispository, whatever. Don't know. That's probably gonna take weeks. I don't know, but I know it was free shipping and all that stuff, and it was a good price. So, but this was my original, the deck that I learned off of, and I used it, and I also used this in my gigs I had when I was working in this spiritual store, giving um, mediumship and psychic readings a couple times a month in the store with clients and with people in person. So this was a deck that I used a lot, and I still use it. I keep it in a little pouchy with a clear quartz too. Every time that I use it, I leave a clear quartz inside to charge it, to clear out whatever was left behind. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Alright, so there we go. Now, this tarot deck, well, this one will do it. Okay, this one was donated to me from my former boss from the psychic spiritual store. That she kind of just gave this all to me when she hired me. I'm no longer with them, but this is the Egyptian tarot deck. It's really cool. I use it sometimes in my psychic, my client tarot card psychic videos, like when my private sessions, when I make a video and put it on YouTube for them to watch. But they're beautiful cards. They have this gorgeous artwork. I think I have a video where I showed you the cards itself. They're very different. Obviously, they don't have the original pictures like on the regular original like Wyatt Rider's deck, but that's what makes it beautiful, because you find your own way to create the meanings on the cards, and look how beautiful the sun is. Alright, and then in the back it has like little Egyptian hieroglyphs. Alright, so this is, thank you, very beautiful. I don't want to make this a long video because I could chit chat all day. I talk a lot. Alright, and then I have my favorite deck. Well, I'll save this for last, but this one is also a donated deck. To be honest, I've never used these. Probably once or twice, but I don't really like these because I just don't like how there's lack of photos on it. Like, barely any photos. Like the wands and the swords and the pentacles. It's all, like, really, like, bland and plain. This one's called, I don't know. It's one of those, like, local, like, independent tarot cards I'm thinking. But I just like the stars in the background, but I don't like the actual photos of art on the cards. It's very, I don't know, you have to be into it to like it. I like the size of the cards though. I've never used them, never been really drawn to using them. And then I have my favorite, I love this deck. I use it when I'm really drawn, and they're very cool when it comes down to fortune telling. These are not tarot cards, but this is a Lenormand. I always have problems saying this. This is like a very famous fortune telling deck that they it's just been going around for centuries. Not centuries, but since the early 1900s, I'm thinking, late 1800s. Started off like some French fortune teller woman, I think she was French, used this deck, and then it cultivated into this thing where people use them now, and this deck was made in Italy, and it's beautiful. So it's just pictures. So there's a picture of like rats or mice, I'm sorry, pictures of a garden, but they all mean something. So the house represents a household, the house or the structure of a certain situation. Garden represents like there's there's something good coming, something positive is gonna end up happening. There's growth and healing. Okay, mice represents like obviously something eating away, something that's not good. That's kind of like falling apart, if anything. So each picture has a meaning, and I just love the size of the cards. They're like small and delicious. See? Okay, and then my last deck, which is the one I've been using a lot recently, and I got it in my spiritual store, in the spiritual store I used to work at. It is Golden Tarot, beautiful box by Cat Black, and this is definitely a medieval feel. The back is gold. There's this gold thing going on. The sides are gold, and each picture is very similar to the original photos on like the Rider's White, the Universal White Tarot deck. They have similar pictures, a little bit different, not so different, but very similar, and they're beautiful. I love working with them. I love I love like old vintagey tarot cards that has like a medieval feel, that has like just an old feel to it. It definitely has to do with my past lives as a gypsy and being in those times and giving card readings and doing this work. So it's why I'm really drawn to all these kind of vintagey cards. But the one that I'm getting, I have an obsession too with tarot cards being gold or like having gold on them. I don't know why, but there's an obsession with that. But the deck I'm waiting for in the mail is like, I'm so excited. I love the way the back of it looks, everything. I'm really excited. It's gonna be some time before they get here, but no rush. With patience. Patience is the virtue. So there you go, you guys. That is my tarot deck show and tell. I don't have a lot of tarot decks because I just use the same ones, if anything. I do have some oracle decks. I think I've showed a couple of them already on my YouTube page, but this is basically my show and tell. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I have a special holiday offer that I have going on. It's 2018 New Year Ahead spread where I read off the cards of what's going on, that's going to happen for you, what's going to happen for you in the new year of 2018 coming up. It's only $20, and I send it to you in a video, so it's cool. You could just watch it. It's like you're just getting a reading. So hope you guys check it out. Message me or email me. Message me your name and email if you're interested. So love you guys. Ciao, ciao.